Okay, so we are live tonight on YouTube, and for some crazy reason, we are not live on Facebook. I swear we can't get them both to go at the same time. So we will go ahead and broadcast this on YouTube live tonight, and if you're catching us on Facebook, you can catch us on the rebroadcast, or you can catch this by switching over. So welcome if you are joining us tonight. It's always great to have you guys here. I'm going to see if I can connect Facebook really quickly here, just to take a chance and see what happens. Let's see. Okay, so tonight we are going to talk about intermittent fasting, quick fix fads. And the lighting in here is kind of dark, so I'm going to move this over a little bit and see if maybe we can improve the lighting just a touch for you guys. Let's see what we got here. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to talk about quick fix fads with intermittent fasting and some of the kind of hazards and things to look for if you are using some things that are kind of advertised as quick fix. The thing that we always want to remember is that to get the best results, you really just have to put in the work. And oftentimes what's touted as a quick fix can often seem too good to be true. And that's what ends up happening, is it does just end up being way too good to be true. So we're going to touch on that just a little bit today. And then I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of some advice that I kind of use and give. I'm going to see if I can move this over here to some better lighting. So excuse me for a second. Some advice that I can use, that you guys can use for yourselves, and maybe you can give to others who might be looking into using some of these quick fixes. So if you're new, welcome for joining us. If you have not subscribed, please take a second to subscribe to the channel. That way when we do go live, if we can go live, you will be notified and you can jump in on the conversation with us. Very quickly, I always like to introduce myself. My name is Diane, and for the past 25 years, I have been helping women find nutritional programs and fitness plans to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And here in this community, we have been doing that through intermittent fasting. And the way I teach women how to intermittent fast is to really go back to the basics and learn how to listen to the signs and signals that their body is sending them, and really develop a nice intimate and familiar relationship with themselves so that they can once and for all develop their own style of eating in a way that will help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. So we're going to go back to the basics, and that really ties in nicely with what we're going to talk about tonight. So a new sort of quick fix fad that's going around in the intermittent fasting world is in the form of what are called exogenous ketones. And exogenous ketones is, I guess, a way for your body to enter into ketosis or have ketones present in your system without actually having to do the work or make some of the sacrifices that we have to make to put in our body into a natural ketogenic type of state. So I'm going to read a little bit of the notes that I have here with you guys and then kind of share with you my thoughts on exogenous ketones. So when we get into ketosis naturally, it's a very good thing for us. It's when our body is burning our own sort of resources as a way to fuel ourselves, and we are just churning off our own sort of stored energy as a way to keep our body systems going. Ketosis has actually been around for years. It's how many people survived in times of famine, and our body is really designed to operate very well in ketosis, and it should be able to do it very naturally. The way we have been conditioned today, as far as dieting goes, and just basically the food industry, we don't feel good or comfortable in the state of hunger, because hunger or being deprived of food is not necessarily considered a positive thing. But ketosis, when you really understand the science behind it, is an amazing place to live in if you can really develop an emotional and psychological understanding of what ketosis can do for you in the long run as far as repairing your body. So the reason why ketosis works so well is because your insulin levels are down when you're in ketosis, which means that your glucose levels are naturally down because you're kind of burning through those by not having increased levels of insulin. And then there's a thing called an IGF-1, which is a growth factor hormone that is also decreased when you're in ketosis. And a growth factor hormone is what we need when we're young and we're in the growing stages of development. Once we're adults, being in that high IGF-1 state can actually be a counterproductive state for us because we don't need to grow anymore. We actually need to be in a state of repair as adults. And so when we put ourselves into that false state of ketosis, meaning ketones are high, insulin's high, glucose is high, and that IGF-1 is high, that's where we start to run into problems because we are trying to cheat the system. Now, these exogenous ketones are pretty new to us as human beings, and so our body doesn't really even know how to respond to that. And it's a very new sort of phenomenon that we're dealing with in the industry of, intermittent fasting and being ketogenic. What we really want to have to take true advantage of being in a ketogenic state is having our ketone levels high by achieving high levels of ketones and ketosis naturally through dietary changes. When we do it that way, what naturally happens, because our body knows what to do when we're doing it in a normal way, is our insulin levels drop, glucose drops, and that IGF-1 or that growth factor drops as well. When all of that is low and our ketones are high, we are in that desirable state of healing, because once we get through that glycogen burning stages and we're into those fat burning stages, depending on where you are with your levels of carbohydrate intake, you can enter the initial stages of autophagy. For some people, they can do that at the 16-hour mark. What we're finding through the courses that we're leading here online is that it happens between the 16th to 20th hour mark for women who are intermittent fasting correctly with a high fat, moderate protein, low carbohydrate diet, and fasting in a clean fasted state, or what we call a truly fasted state, for about 20 hours. The healing process that we're seeing is absolutely phenomenal. But we're entering into those ketogenic type of states or ketosis naturally by making dietary changes in our lifestyle, and then tying those dietary changes into the fat adaptive feelings that we get and really taking advantage of that time in our truly fasted state. So what they're finding with these exogenous ketones, or putting yourself into a sort of false state of ketosis, or probably even more appropriate would be a forced state of ketosis, is since your ketones are high, your insulin is high, your glucose is high, your IGF-1 levels are high, that it's actually causing states of bad conditions for people where they're seeing higher rates of cancer. It could lead to heart problems, because we don't need that it's considered overgrowth at that point. We as adults don't need everything to be high at the same time. We want some levels high while other levels are low, so that our body can actually do what it's designed to do in ketosis, which is actually get us into that state of fat burning and that natural healing state. So we're knocking off the opportunities to be in that healing state because our growth state is still high. So what is it that we should do to get ourselves in ketosis? Well, I kind of alluded to it a little bit in the fact that if you're in a truly fasted state, your fat levels are high nutritionally, you're not over proteining your body, especially as a woman. We know we don't need to seek out extra sources of protein, and our carbohydrates are moderate to low, and we are in a truly fasted state for a long enough period of time to really tap into those signs and signals of being fat adaptive. Then you're doing the right thing for yourself, and you can actually enter into an opportunity where you're going to heal your body. So why the big fad with exogenous ketones? Why is there such a market for this and such a buzz around it? Well, just like everything else in the nutrition industry or the diet industry, or I guess just society in general, we're all looking for the easy way to achieve the best results. We've seen it over the years. There was the huge fen craze with weight loss, which ended up being a disaster for a lot of women with some of the heart damage that was going on. And some of the end results that they found with using something like fen, which was, sort of a way to decrease your appetite and lose weight rapidly. We've seen things with some of the surgeries that are going on to, cut away intestines and put balloons in our digestive tract so we don't eat as much, and finding that, that doesn't really, in most cases, correct the problem, because you can still kind of eat your way into reversing those results. So we don't want to take the shortcut. We don't want to fall into these false advertisements of, you don't have to go low carb. You can eat whatever you want. Just drink this drink. You'll have ketones present in your system, and everything will magically fall into place, and you won't have to do any work, and you won't have to learn about nutrition, and you won't have to listen to what your body's telling you, because this magic potion is going to do it for you. And that's where it starts to get scary. And don't get me wrong, there are definitely some supplements that you can take out there that will enhance whatever it is that you're doing. But there's always going to be a catch for something that is promised that sounds too good to be true, because in most cases it is. Now, I did a little experimenting myself because I wanted to know what all the buzz was about with these exogenous ketones. I bought about 3 days worth of them. I can tell you that I felt pretty energized when I was taking them because they had some caffeine in them, but I didn't feel anything or notice anything that was worth the risk for me. Now, knowing what the risks of those things are, it's so much easier and realistically so much more affordable to just learn how to eat properly and put yourself in a truly fasted state for a period of time that's long enough for you to enter in ketosis in the natural way, so that you're keeping your insulin low, you're keeping those glucose levels low, and you're keeping those growth factor hormones where they're supposed to be as an adult woman. We don't want to mess around with nature. And this kind of goes back to the conversations that I have with a lot of women about the hormone replacement therapies. We don't want to take the shortcut. We want to do the work and do the research to find out why it is our body is reacting this way. What's causing us to have some of these symptoms that we're having, that in some cases are so bad that women are so desperate that they want to take the shortcut. And I totally understand that. In the short term, that's going to fix some things. But in the long term, what we're finding through the studies that are now taking place is that those warnings, signs, and signals and statements that are written all over these products should be taken very seriously. And that you should really think about what it is that you want for your lifetime and not for the short term. Because like I always say with these things that are crutches, is that once you stop using them, if you haven't learned anything about your body or you haven't learned anything about nutrition, then as soon as you stop taking them, you're going to go back to the way you were. And that's the sad part for women, because we're always on this roller coaster ride of results, disappointment, because we're not learning about our bodies and we're not learning to listen to those signs and signals. So use things with caution. Make sure you understand the risks that are involved before you go look for something that might be the easy route. Short-term wise, it probably is. But if you're not learning anything about your nutrition, and you're not learning anything about your body, and you're not learning anything about the why you are in the place that you are today, then it can be a very costly experience. Not only financially, but it could cost you some things in the long run that maybe you weren't planning on, that might cause you to be in a situation where you never planned on being. And that's the biggest thing, is that we can do a lot with food, and we can do a lot with patience, and we can do a lot with education. And that will last you a lifetime. what we do in the short term, what we do with the quick fix, what we do to buy our way to a result that may seem too good to be true, usually ends up being that way, and I would hate for any of you to suffer the consequences of that. So do your research, make a gut decision. If it doesn't feel good, it probably isn't good, and then just know that anything that you have to buy for a quick fix, as long as you can continue buying it, you'll probably get the results. But as soon as you stop buying it, those results will go back to what you were before if you didn't make the changes. So let me see who we have on here today. I will welcome you guys and answer any questions or comments. Hello, Sandra. Good to have you here. Dana, I finally got on. Oh, thanks, Dana. So glad you like the program. Joy, hello. I need some advice on evening meals or skip meals. Joy. Stay tuned. In November, in December, we're going to start working on an intermittent feasting plan. We've been working and concentrating so much on intermittent fasting, and the struggle really is with the feasting part of it. So we're going to do a lot of flip on things and start working on the feasting part. So stay tuned. That part's coming. Let's see. Hi, everyone. I'm in the 93017 alumni group. Randy, good to have you here. You worked out all day? Wow. Good evening, Joy Wells. Jenna, hello from New Mexico. It's really nice up here. Oh, I bet. It's really gorgeous here in Texas right now, too. It's very spring-like in the fall. We love it. Claire from the UK. Haven't seen you from a while. I hope you're doing well. I will do liquids at night. Cool. Yvonne, hello from north of the Golden Gate. June course 819 alumni. IFer for life. Yvonne's my girl. Dana, I hope to be an IFer for life. Dana, all you have to do is say you're an IFer for life and just practice it. You'll be fine. That's what we like to teach. Jenny, hello from Seattle. Thank you so much for helping us approach this as a lifestyle. You've really helped me gain a new appreciation for the feeling of hunger, right? Because hunger is where the magic happens. Too bad we didn't know that our whole life. Dana from Washington State. Lori Lewis, thanks for the subject, Diane. A person just tried to sell me those ketones and I declined because it sounded suspicious and I said I needed to do more research before investigating. Yep, good for you. Terry, can you recommend any IF books to read? Yeah, Terry, why don't you email me and I can give you a list. And if you're in my course, if you're in the alumni course and if you're in my basics course, I do a whole lesson on great books to read. Randy, hallelujah for reminding us all to stop looking for the quick fix. Yep. Joy, for me, IF is my quick fix. It's so easy and it's so inexpensive. No need to look much farther. Gwen from New York, welcome. Let's see. These chats are great encouragement, keeps us focused. Awesome. Thanks for jumping in tonight, Christine. Terry, does 1 tablespoon or half and half take me out of fasting in the morning? I stop eating at 6 and eat at 11 a.m. Terry, half and half, it's not a clean fasted state. Let's just put it that way. Anything that you put in that has calories in it or has protein or has carbs in it will take you out of a clean fasted state. So I always say, and you'll learn this, Terry, in the November course. So great question. I always say don't risk it. Just fast. Fasting's super easy. Take all the questions out of it. Take all the complications out of it. Just do a clean fast. Once you get a true appreciation for hunger, which any of my students will tell you, hungry is where the magic happens. And once you're comfortable there, then you don't question what it is that you're doing in your fasting window. You'll actually be very, very careful about not slipping up with the fast. And then here's some things, and my alumni students will probably back me up on this. Hopefully they'll back me up on this, is that once you get into a maintenance mode, or what I call having a strong fasting muscle, then you can play around with things a little bit. And you can fluctuate between your fasting and your feasting windows. You know, we have 1 day a week where we go eat breakfast, and we just start our fast a little earlier that day and have a longer fast the next day. So it's really about your emotional state and comfort level with food and you and the lifestyle that you want to have. The biggest issue with something like intermittent fasting is not really so much the fasting part of it. It's generally the feasting part of it, which I said we are going to start to focus on in the upcoming months. But it's also our emotional relationship with food and why it is that we go against what we know is right for us, and where we want to be, and what place we want to be with our physique and our health and our nutrition and socially and family and all of those things. And we let emotions take over our common sense, and we let emotions take over the why and the drive that we have to achieve a certain goal. And so once we get this part of us and the kind of the heart part of us squared away and what it is that we really want for our life, then intermittent fasting really becomes really fun and simple, because nothing's going to throw us off track. Nothing's going to make us feel guilty. Nothing's going to make us feel regretful about anything that we did, because we're empowered to make decisions for ourselves as adult women, and we don't play that little emotional game anymore. It took me a really long time to understand that for myself, and now I really try to focus on that with you guys in our course, is that, you know, just decide what you want and then be chill with it. Like, it's okay. It's okay if you eat XYZ thing, as long as you're happy with everything else in your life. But if that XYZ thing is making you feel bad about yourself, then we got to figure out why you keep going to that. And that has nothing to do with intermittent fasting. That has everything to do with something that's going on with you emotionally that we can figure out. And that's what we're going to try to do. We do a lot of that work in the alumni course. So, you know, and this goes kind of back to the quick fix thing. And, you know, why are we looking for a quick fix? Let's just do the work. Let's go through the process of it. Let's go through the research of it. Let's go through experimenting with our body and really becoming intuitive with what our body needs to look and feel its best. And that's really when you can live authentically, is when you don't let, you know, something that happened in your life that really has nothing to do with your overall health and fitness derail you. And so, you know, we got to be ready to do the work for the last time. If you can figure this out with intermittent fasting and really heal your body, so many other things in your life start to naturally fall into place too. And that's sort of the side benefit of what it is that we're doing here. Let's see what we got here. First time skipping my 2 drops of stevia on my coffee. This has been my biggest hurdle. Amelia, and you didn't die. That's the best thing, is when, you know, I first start working with women and they're like, I can't give up my stevia or my creamer or my coffee. I'm going to die. And then they do, and then they don't die. No, I don't think anybody has ever died from black coffee. Here's the thing about drinking black coffee. The more you drink your coffee black, the more you like black coffee. And then you'll put something in it and it'll almost like gag you at how sweet it is, or how heavy it is. There's something really good about black coffee once you just adapt a taste to it. So congratulations, Amelia. You are on your way. Gwen, I agree. I was terrified with feelings of hunger. I'm beginning to accept it now. Yep. Joy, IF is the best quick fix I have ever found and the easiest. It's my lifestyle. Congratulations. Yeah, it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's a timing thing. All we're doing is taking our food and we're moving it to a different time of our day. And if you can grasp that concept, again, it's just another one of those things that you can be home free with. So don't be tempted by all these quick fixes. They are kind of too good to be true. And I think what we're going to find in the end is we're going to end up with more problems than we are solutions with them. So do the long-term thing. Don't do the quick fix thing. You'll be fine. You'll get there. And you'll save a lot of money too. Marina, it's a process. You are spot on. And that biggest struggle is feasting. Fasting becomes so magical. Yep. Angela, that's so true. Coffee with cream and stevia tastes strange now. Exactly. See, I got all my black coffee people here. Cool. Okay, so a couple announcements really quick. Our next intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman's Basics course, where we teach you the ABCs about how to learn how to listen to your body and fast correctly, will start November 4th. We will close registration November 3rd, so you guys have a couple weeks. We've discounted the price because we're creating a special mini course for the holidays. It won't be a 30-day course. We're going to shorten it up and give it to you straight 3 weeks. If you were in a previous basics course, you do not need to jump into the basics course. We are going to make sure that you have what it is that you need. We highly recommend that if you feel like you need to jump into the basics course, that you just go ahead and jump into the alumni course, because you'll get so much more information there. And that course is starting on October 28th. So I highly recommend, if you want to do a little bit more work on you and really fine tune that intermittent fasting muscle, Oh my gosh. Are you guys there? Are you okay? My phone just fell off. Then you should really jump into or consider jumping into the intermittent fasting alumni course. That will really solidify things for you guys. But if you've never taken a course, then the November 4th course is what you want to do. Again, that is just going to be a condensed version of our basics course. It will also qualify you once you graduate from that course to be eligible to jump into our alumni course, which we will relaunch at the first of the year. So we got everybody covered. If you have never taken a course, but you are an intermittent faster and you've been one of our raving fans here on YouTube and Facebook, you would like to order one of our intermittent fasting for today's aging women's shirts. One of them says it's not a diet, it's a timing thing. The other one says hungry's where the magic happens. Definitely email us and we will get you the link to the shop so that you can go ahead and purchase one of our shirts. We're going to close out the sales for these 2 first shirts this weekend. So definitely get in and get yourself a shirt. They're super cute, super cool, high quality shirts, very trendy. And then you can be in the t-shirt club with us, which is an awesome place to be. You can email us, or I think Kara just put the link up, or she will put the link up. It's www.fortodaysagingwomansshop.com. Oh, you mean Yvonne? I know. I don't know how I don't crack up either. My phone just completely fell on the ground. I don't know. I just figure I got to get it up quick. So t-shirts, there's a link for that. Kara will post it here. I will put it on the Facebook page as well. Make sure you look at them. They're super cute, like I said. And then you guys can post your pictures on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram or wherever, and tag us, and then we can give you a shout out. So beginners course November 4th, alumni course is October 28th, and t-shirt sales are up until this week. And then we're going to close it out, and then we'll do another round next month. Thanks for putting up with my crazy phone falling, YouTube working, Facebook not working. I hope you guys got some good information about some of these quick fixes that are going around. And hey, look, I'm not dogging anybody who's trying to make a living out there. I know that these companies, are helping people make money. They're helping people make money from home. I get all that. Just make sure that you're well informed. Make sure that you are not going to be doing something today that you're going to regret tomorrow or down the road. Remember, decisions that we are making today for ourselves as aging women are to make sure that 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, we have everything that we would hope we would have at that stage in our life. And sometimes these quick fix decisions that we're making can lead us into a place down the future that we might have some regrets about. And I don't want you guys to be in that position. Just do the work. It's super easy. Just don't eat. Just don't eat. And be busy and enjoy the energized sense of calm that you get when you're in a truly fasted state, and take advantage of everything that offers you with lower insulin levels, lower glucose in your system, lower growth factor hormone, and increased ketosis, where you're going to tap into that fat burning stage and put yourself in that truly healing environment where you can reverse some of those things that you have going on that you're really not happy with, that are probably making you feel like you need to reach for a quick fix. There are plenty of women that we have helped now, myself included, who feel that their body is completely healed, reversing all of those out of balance hormonal changes, reversing some of those health conditions that they had, and feeling absolutely amazing today because they did the work. They slowed down, they took a deep breath, and they let their body do for them what their body is designed to do, and that is heal. I'm going to leave you guys with that thought. Hope you have a great weekend. I will see you guys on Monday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I might be on YouTube. I might be on Facebook. I don't know where I'm going to be. It'll be wherever we can catch a live feed. So make sure that you check us out in both places. Subscribe here so you can catch us when we go live, or catch the recording when we put it up. Make sure you're connected to us on Facebook as well. And then if you want to catch us on Instagram, we are doing our Focus on Fitness this month as well, where we're putting up some motivational tips for you guys to stay on focus with your fitness journey, if that's what you're looking for as well. So have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys back here Monday night.